Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, rolling.
Welcome back to another episode of Fitness Questions. We're back with Paul Roberts. He's the owner of Sand and Steel Fitness. They have 2 new locations opening up in Alexandria. So if you're out that way, go ahead and check them out. I'll put the website at the end of the video. So Paul, today we have a question from Boyd, who's a member here from Washington, D.C. He's been hearing all this different talk about recovery, when to rest, how many days you should work out before rest, and I think he's just getting confused about, strength training and high-intensity interval training. How often should he rest depending on the program?
There are a lot of answers to this question. Depends on your individual physiology. It also depends on the type of workout you're doing, whether or not you're working out once or twice a day even, and what your nutrition looks like. So when you look on the internet for this answer, you can get 100 different answers, right?
Google will just break.
Yeah, there's so many different answers. Pick a system, discuss it with your trainer, make sure your trainer buys onto it, because we're going to go over 2 or 3 different answers. You can ask other trainers, they'll give you another answer, right? So you got to have an answer that's going to work for your particular work requirements, travel requirements, kid requirements, or whatever else. So that's going to get you the most results in the time period you have to work out. So that said, on the board here, we have 3 programs, right? We have program A, which we think is one of the most effective programs, and it has 3 days on, 1 day off, 3 days on. And then on Monday, on the next week, you'd be off. Down part about this program is it changes each week. So, Monday you work out 2 out of 3 weeks, and then 1 day is off. So if you have a schedule that accommodates this, and you're able to devote that much working out 6 days a week, this is great. If you can't, this system is what a lot of people use. This is working out 5 days a week, taking 2 days off. And if you're going to work out 5 days a week, you really need the days off. The time off gives your body the chance to rebuild. It allows the mental rehabilitation as well. It's very easy to get burned out with working. You get bored, you get tired, things aren't developing as quickly. If you don't give your body a chance to rest, you're not going to get the results that you're looking for. And then we want to talk about C here.
How does this work out? This is most of the people, right?
Yeah.
In the population.
Right. Or it may even be more than that, right? We look at our schedules, right? Monday, 60% of people register. Tuesday, maybe 20%. Wednesday, you get a good 50%, about half the time, right? So 1 week you do this, and then we're going to do Thursday off. Friday, we're going to go to the gym, and then, Vanessa wants to come see you, so Friday didn't happen, and, Friday's late, so Saturday didn't happen. Who works out on Sundays, right? So
yeah, it's football.
Football's on Sundays or whatever else, World Cup and everything else.
There you go.
So, if you work out twice a week, you can get some results. If this goes down to once a week, you're really not going to get any results, and you're not really getting any value for your time or for the money you invest in health. So, if you're down here, you can get a partner, you can get a trainer involved, help whatever is causing the motivation not to be here is something to address. And a lot of times it's results. If you're not seeing results, you're not motivated to go. So maybe you need to restructure your programming so that you are getting the results you're looking for.
Cool. So why don't we just forget this, and we'll go with A and B to start.
Yeah, we're going to put a big line through this one. We're not going to do this one. So, we drew 2 different programs. As I mentioned, there are lots of different programming options, right? People may have, this system here, have heard about like the split system, which was very popular in the 90s. It's actually a very effective system. You will build a lot of strength from it. It's kind of a fundamentals, and it's a fundamental for a reason, because it works, right? There's a number of different ways you can do splits. This one shows chest and triceps, because those muscles usually work together, and back and biceps, which also work together. And then on Wednesday, you do legs. Thursday would be off. And then you'd repeat. It would look just like A. Could you do something like, triceps, biceps, and shoulders one day, and back and chest another day? Sure, you could split it up that way as well. What's been more popular lately, because of changes in the way people work out, is high-intensity training, or as I have here, Profuse, right? And these involve what's called metabolic conditioning. which is high intensity, high movement workout. And these you can do the same type of movements a couple times in a row because they're not exhausting any particular muscle group. Also, the way your body processes the different workouts, strength workouts take longer to recover from. HIIT training is more about calorie burning, it's about EPOC and getting a burn afterwards to reduce calories to help with, maybe extra body fat you want to get rid of. And so these are really effective. Can you do 5 days in a row of HIIT training? You can, but then you also don't have time to work on technique, and you don't have time to do things like yoga, which is effective. So the programming we have here has 2 Metcons, one on each day, Monday and Tuesday, and Metcon stands for metabolic conditioning. And then on Wednesday, we will work on technique that day. We'll learn how to do some complicated barbell movement or how to do ring muscle ups or whatever, and we'll spend the time to learn that. That way you can work it into your Metcon and you're not interfering with your workout, sticking with stuff that you already have a form for. Can we work in things like yoga or mobility on those days? Sure. Anything that's not going to do too much strain on those days is fine. Hiking, if you want to do hiking, that's great. If you want to do some easy bike riding, that's fine. Biking 100K, that's not fine. You're not going to recover properly. And then on Thursday and Friday, we just reverse the Metcon. Sure, you could do 2 new ones, but bodies usually respond to the same kind of training as they get more and more intense. So maybe we go a little bit harder on this Thursday and Friday. And on Saturday, you could do another technique day, or you could switch it up with yoga. Those are the basic ideas. If neither of these systems work, call Chris or call me. There's a lot of different programs that are available. Have one that's customized to your schedule so you stay with it and get the results you're looking for.
Great. So I think, Boyd, what Paul is trying to say is everybody's different. What we need to focus on is when you're strength training and you're going heavy, you're doing your 5 sets of 5, you're doing your Wendler 5-3-1, your Westside barbell, you're going to put a lot of strain on those muscle groups because you're going so heavy. You're going to put a lot of strain on your central nervous system. So you shouldn't be working out, 3 days a week, You need that rest day before you go back to the same muscle group. When you're doing the high intensity interval training and your Profuse, you're not going to go to that limit with your volume and your intensity. You're going to use dumbbells instead of a heavy barbell on your back for 5. You're going to go for 45 seconds on and 15 off. So your body doesn't have that stress. So therefore you can keep working out longer, correct?
Right. And that stress is important, not only in muscles, but on ligaments and on tendons. If you're working really heavy weight, you can have a high risk of injury. And it gets worse if you keep hitting the same group without rest. Those things take a long time to heal, and that's why these splits have been around so long, because it reduces injury. Metcons don't have quite as much injury likelihood, provided your form's right. So make sure you have someone watching your form and you're doing weights that are within your ability.
And a whole different beast, a whole nother question is recovery. So we could lay out the best program for you and the best rest day, but if you're not sleeping enough, you're not putting the right things in your body, you could ruin it, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, why is 6 hours a week or 6 hours a night not good enough?
Because you don't get enough sleep to regenerate and recuperate your muscles.
Right. Another thing that happens when you don't sleep very much, you're sleeping 5-6 hours a night, your cortisol levels raise. Cortisol is a hormone that breaks down muscle tissue. If you don't have your 7-8 hours of sleep, you're going to have higher cortisol levels, you're going to have fewer gains. Another thing that happens when you don't sleep enough is your ghrelin levels increase, and those cause you to eat more food too. So you start eating poorly and you're not regenerating, and that won't get you very good results, which brings us to a final point about nutrition. How much recovery you need is based in part about what you're eating. The better your diet, the faster your recovery is going to be, and that could be from eating whole foods to popular diets that focus on removing things like processed foods and foods high in sugar are going to help a lot. And certain supplements do increase recovery speed. Creatine is used, protein is used, branched-chain amino acids. All these things do increase recovery speed so that you can get up and do another workout in more time, and you're less sore. And who likes being sore after a workout?
Yeah, absolutely.
Only trainers.
Well, thanks for coming on again, Paul. So, Boyd, I hope we answered your question. Depending on your workout, if you're going strength, take more days off if you're going high intensity interval training. Listen to your body. Your body will tell you when you're overworking. Your body will tell you when you need to work more. So know yourself, find a trainer who can help get the most out of you, and thanks for coming on.
It's a pleasure. Thanks
No
a lot.
problem. We'll see you again tomorrow for another episode of Fitness Questions.